Hey everyone, Magic Man Scott 40k here, back at it more Dawn of War Soultorm. Today I got for you a 3v3 with Dark Eldar gameplay on Averis. I thought this one was pretty good, so I thought I'd show you. This one is pretty high level, I would say. And I think this is one of the few times where I do well. Alright, so team 1 is me. I got this spawn in the right corner. Eldar in the middle. So Dark Eldar, normal Eldar. And then you have Necrons. All these races have these weird abilities that they usually just spam these crazy abilities. So it's more like it's an ability heavy team. And then on this side you have Tau, which is mostly just pure damage. And then you have Sisters. Sisters is more anti-vehicle and they're really good at taking down buildings, which is usually how you end the game. So they're pretty good at ending the game. And then you have Guard. Guard is really good at defense. So you got a mix of defense, offense, and Sisters can specialize in like assassination. So pretty good team lineup, I would say. And yeah, I picked random. This guy picked random, and this happened around like 8 a.m. very early in the morning. So I don't think anyone was really taking this seriously because it was so early in the morning, right? So a lot of people were waking up still groggy. So I don't think anyone was playing at their best. But I still think this was a pretty good one. I thought I'd show you. And I'll go ahead and try to come up with a story for this one, and then I'll go ahead and play it. So Dark Eldar and Eldar, they do team up like once in a generation. So it does happen, but it's very rare. So Dark Eldar, they're like pirates. They have a lot of slaves. Right here, slave, right? So pretty brutal faction, I would say. They're much more evil than I would say Chaos. Dark Eldar makes Chaos look like chumps. They're pretty much as evil as you can get. And then Eldar will wage war on someone just for like a special relic that's underground that nobody knows of. They'll like destroy a city just to get some special like artifact that no one knows of. So I wouldn't call Eldar saints, but they're much less evil than Dark Eldar, I would say. I do think they're kind of jerks for most of the time. One interesting about Eldar is they can predict things like hundreds of years in the future. So basically they know all of Warhammer. They know the entire story of Warhammer because they can see things in the future. They know exactly when they're going to get attacked. They know exactly how to win. This makes them pretty hard to fight when they know everything that's going to happen. And then you have Necrons. Necrons is probably the strongest faction in Warhammer, I would say. Necrons is pretty much dominated everything. So yeah, I would say Necrons are probably the strongest faction in Warhammer. They are kind of all over the place. Sometimes they die to a random Space Marine, but sometimes they're also overpowered. They're kind of all over the place. For Necrons, so Necrons sees everyone as like ants, so I can't really see them working with Eldar. They see them as like tiny ants, and they're like nothing. They're like nobodies. So yeah, I can't really see them working with anyone. They're not really allies of anyone. And then you have Tau. Tau is actually pretty friendly. They'll work with pretty much anyone. So Tau working with Sister Battle is not that crazy. But the thing about Sister Battle is they're extremely anti anything that's not human. If it's not a human, they'll kill it. So them working with Tau is kind of iffy. And then you have Guard. Guard just mostly wants to do their job. You know, they're all about honor and glory. If they get into a fight, that's usually good enough for them. They just want to fight and whoever's the bad guy. So usually if they attack some bad guy, that's good enough. So they'll work with a lot of people. Alright, I think that's enough for the intro. I'll go ahead and start it. This is pretty high level, so it is pretty hard to keep track of things. So I'll show you, I'll try to slow things down when it gets to that point. Alright, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start it. So I go Hall and Blood, mostly to kill commanders. I wanted to kill the Tau commander and other commanders. So I'm basically doing an anti-commander build order. Dark Eldar is really good at killing commanders. Eldar goes for Rangers and Banshees. I think Necron does an early Lord. So you'll see the Necron Lord here in a minute. Tau, I think he does this economy build order. Yeah, he's got 2 generators. So he's got quite a bit of money at the start. Sisters does more of a canonist build order. So you see the canonist there. Guard basically just goes straight to tier 2, which is not a bad idea. And I'll skip ahead a bit. So you see the Rangers there. So there you go, some Ranger action. They don't really do a whole lot. Sisters are really good at detecting. I don't think they're a strong faction by any means, but they have a lot of detectors. So buying infiltration doesn't really work on them. See how some Banshees here. Banshees are a very weird unit. Sometimes they can kill Space Marines, sometimes they can't. It's a very odd unit. Here I use my stun. I stun the Fire Warriors, and the Banshees do their thing. And 3 Fire Warriors dead. And I think that was Tau's only army. So Tau's only army's down for the count. And again, I wanted to go anti-commander, so you'll see me focus down the canonists. That's basically my entire plan, was just focus down the commanders. Necron Lord going in. You can see Tau they're not completely set up yet. They don't have this captured. They don't have this set up. 3-minute Pathfinders. Pathfinders combo with anything, but you can see there's nothing here. You need something to combo them with.
Eliminating targets.
I do this push, but this was kind of a fail. This is me and 2 squads fighting all this, which wasn't gonna work out. I think I got the Canonist to red. Yeah, Canonist is in red. So the Canonist is pretty much useless right now. Here I run away to my teammates. I don't have any defenses, so I just run away to my teammates. Looks like Tau's in deep trouble. These Banshees get marked. So now everybody should be doing double damage to them. So the Banshees aren't very scary anymore. I use my stun ability again. Got some warriors out and about. Warriors do crazy high commander damage. They can kill commanders no problem. Very good unit. Very late command squad, 4 minutes. Yeah, Tau's in deep trouble, I would say. Necron does this turret. I think he does double turret. So sometimes fast tier 2 works, sometimes it doesn't. And I do think Tau has one of the stronger tier 2s in the game. So it wasn't a bad idea to do that. If the tier 2 went off, it could have been really devastating. You can see Sister's got the relic. You turn on the relic. Not a bad idea. I'm not sure if they planned any of this out. I think this just kind of happened. I don't know if they talked about it. Yeah, it seems like everything's just kind of happening. So I'm getting upgrades. I think I have the warrior grenade. I think I threw a warrior grenade over there. So I am getting a little bit stronger. And I think I will have poison here. I don't have poison right now, but I think I do have poison here in a minute. So you can see here there's a lot of spam. None of these units are actually that strong, but you can see there's a lot of them. So it's more like elite versus spam. These are just normal guardsmen, not very scary. Just a lot of units, basically. Necron's getting wrecked. But these turrets are doing some mad damage. So now Tau's back to tier 1. Pretty rough. He does have the rocket launcher. Yeah, he's got the rocket launcher there. It's not totally helpless. Here I do some harassment, which forces Sisters to run back. So you can see here they ran back. These turrets are slowly but surely going down. Very nice engagement, I would say. You can see guards tier 2 with the plasma. There you go. Both turrets down. Those are like 200 energy each. When it comes to Necrons, that's a lot. So that's 400 energy down. So here I'm actually getting pushed back, I would say. And I don't have enough money to really buy anything scary. So my Archon went down, so now I can't really kill commanders anymore. So now their commanders can run free. I had the yawn there. Banshees are still alive, which I'm surprised by. I think these are just normal Banshees, not the upgraded ones. Necron Lord going. Oh yeah, Necron Lord down. So it's actually looking pretty bleak for us. I think we did a very strong push, and it was worth it. But now we don't really have anything. These plasma guards aren't really all that scary, but we don't really have anything. As you can see here, we don't have much. Guard goes to the decap. I think with the priest, this is fine. I do use my soul zap on the general. I wanted to soul zap the psyker. This stops them from using their. This stops them from using their commander abilities. I was afraid of the psyker because the psyker can win games. So I wanted to soul zap them. And you can see Sisters actually has a pretty strong army right now. I think right now it's pretty even, but this plasma is very scary. Plasma can tear right through anything really. You can see how quickly these guys are dying. That squad died in like 2 seconds. And with the priest, it's no joke. So there you go, I use another soul ability. Basically the plan is commander and soul abilities. Another stun. The more bodyguards you have, the incubi, the stronger your soul abilities get. There you go. Command squad down, which was basically my entire plan. Necrons does this weird push. Not really sure what's going on there. Wraith down. I'm not sure if they have the melee upgrade. Sisters of Power Swords can easily kill the Wraith. Eldar tries to be funny. Doing some damage here. Basilisk out. Kind of a fail from Eldar. Couldn't get past the defense. Dark Eldar has little to no answers for the Basilisk. And the Basilisk, like, it's an infantry faction. And the Basilisk just tears right through infantry. So the Basilisk pretty much completely counters me. I can't really do anything. As long as the Basilisk is out, I can't do anything. It was like Necron's just distracting Tau, which fair enough. Now Tau does not have the power sword, so the Wraith is actually pretty scary. Yeah, I think everyone's tier 2. And it looks like he's actually going tier 2 a second time. There I donated power to Necrons. I figured we needed something powerful. Because I really don't have a whole lot. Really, one shot from the Basilisk kills everything I have. So it's kind of a scary moment for me. Vipers are pretty good against everything. Not a bad choice. They do go down very easily. All you really need is, you can see how quickly it goes down to the rockets. Oh no, another soul zap for me. I was trying to stop the vehicle stun, but oh well. I think the soul zap does about 200 damage. So you can see there the commander is slowly going down. I don't think it's enough to kill the general, but it should slow him down a bit. That 200 damage is not enough to kill, let's say, the Confessor. So I don't really have an answer for the Confessor right now. Looks like Sisters actually has a pretty strong and scary army. They're very good at ending the game. They can destroy HQs very quickly. Here I go in, 'cause it looks like I have to, right? I can't let Sisters build up. If Sisters builds up right now, it's not good. Oh, there's a Confessor Smite, and then a Necron Lord, Solar Pulse, Fanaticism activated, Heal ability activated. I used my soul abilities again. Tau doing their thing. And it's actually looking pretty bad for me. I actually lost everything in that fight. So yeah, I lost my homunculus, I lost everything. I don't know if I got any kills during that. But yeah, it looks like the other team, this team has a much stronger army. Another Fanaticism activated. And the bottom team pushes now is not good. And you got Caskins out. I don't really have any answers for the Caskins. Caskins pretty much one-shot everything in my army. I think pretty soon I do make Ravens. So there's my other soul ability, my tier 3. I don't think these guys have the armor upgrade. So the soul ability should be able to get a kill or two. And you can see the assassin here. So now it's looking pretty bad. One sentinel should be able to destroy all this. So now it's tier 2 Tau versus tier 4 Necrons. It's not looking too hot. Sisters should be able to destroy this monolith no problem. If Sisters play their cards right, they can actually destroy this monolith pretty easily. And I think Sisters has the tier 4. They'll be tier 4 here in a minute. I think everyone is pretty much tier 4. So you'll see a lot of tier 4 stuff happening here in a minute. But yeah, I gave Necrons 200 power just to speed things up a little bit. I was gonna make vehicles, but as you can see here, I don't really have a spot for it. Like, where am I gonna put my vehicles at? So I decided just to not do it. Like, I don't have a spot for my vehicles. Prize go in, and another big battle happens. I don't really have an army. Not really. So you can see here the heals are being activated. More Fanaticism. Solar Pulse. Sister goes in. Avatar Arcane pops out. Another big battle. Stealth suits are actually doing some pretty good damage, I would say. Necron Lord being very hard to kill. Pushing all of Tau back. Caskins are in a weird spot. They're like in this corner. Looks like Prize took out some listening posts. Sisters versus Avatar Arcane. I don't know if this is a good choice. Sisters are good, but I don't think they can't really kill tier 4 units. They don't really have an answer for that. 3 destroyers. That's one answer for the Caskins. 3 destroyers should be able to kill those Caskins, no problem. Tier 4 battle, but I think Eldar is on the losing end. So it does look like the bottom team is actually stronger. But this is a lot of destroyers, who knows. Canonist goes in, really wanting to kill that avatar. It still looks pretty good for the bottom team, I would say. It's totally doable. Eldar has fire prisms, which can be stunned by the Psyker if you play your cards right. I do have Ravens, but Ravens don't really do a whole lot to the... They're mostly anti, like, generators. You can kill generators with them. And it looks like Tao's pretty much out of the game. 3 destroyers will do that to you. So you can see my Ravens aren't really doing a whole lot. Ravens have the special power to turn off anything in the game for about 3 seconds. So I can turn off Leman Russ. I can turn off the Baneblade. I can turn off anything in the game for about 3 seconds. So that's what the Raven does, if you guys don't know. Looks like Tao is tier 3, but there's no way they can buy anything with this kind of economy. Maybe going straight to tier 3 was not the best idea. And the Baneblade is kind of creating this wall. I don't know if we have an answer for the Baneblade. We should be able to destroy the Leman Russes with the Lore Destroyers. Looks like these Dark Reapers won't last too long. And it looks like Tao is just completely out of money. Now the Soultorm. I think if Sisters played their cards right, they could have killed the Monolith. But it's whatever. Soulstorm plus Solar Pulse. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are, you can't really play around Solar Pulse. Solar Pulse just ruins anyone's day. And at this point, I think everyone's pretty much maxed out. Now Dark Eldar does pretty well against single target enemies, like the Living Saint. So Dark Eldar is actually pretty much... they actually excel against the Living Saint. So you can see there, the Living Saint went down one time. My Ravens are doing next to nothing. But here I'm really not afraid of the Living Saint. The poison, I'm actually like, I'm alright with fighting it. You can see here they're really trying to kill Tao. I don't think Tao ever captured his this listening point here. He just never did it. You can see here I'm just not afraid of the Living Saint. It's no biggie for me. My army is still not that strong. It's like 2 commanders and a squad, and that's it. So my army is not that scary at all. So here goes the Living Saint. I'm not sure if she used her sword ability, that big fire slash ability. Leman Russes can shoot basically from here to the other side of the map, so they should be able to snipe out these units over here. Yeah, as long as the Basilisk is out and about, I can't really do anything. The Basilisk just completely shuts down everything I have. The Deceiver Shard. The Deceiver Shard is doing some work. Eldar is going in, and they're basically triple teaming guard, which fair enough. Again, with Sisters, the Monolith should not really be that much of an issue. And it looks like Eldar is actually having trouble with guard. Their defense is just too good. Yeah. Still can't break guard's defense, even with being triple teamed. Here I tried to end the game. Didn't work. I get smited by the Confessor. So yeah, I tried to end the game here, but it didn't work. And they have a assassin here, which counters my commander. I do have malediction, but I keep forgetting to use it. I just completely forget to use malediction. And for malediction to really work, you need like 4 incubi. Big tier 4 battle. The Avatar might actually lose here. There's like a bunch of tier 4 stuff here and 1 Avatar. So the Avatar might actually go down here in a minute. But you can see my Ravens aren't really doing a whole lot. They can kill the builders in like 3 seconds. So the builders can't survive very long. Immortals actually do crazy high melee damage. So you gotta watch out for the melee damage from the Immortals. They did have Pentium engines, but I think the Pentium engines lost to the Immortals. Yeah, I think the Avatar Arcane actually went down. Yeah, it did. So Eldar can't break Guard's defense. There's no way. Yeah, I think Sisters had the right army, but I think they just played that fight wrong. Really, 1 smite is all you need to kill. Like, smite kills everything right here. So if the Confessor pops out and smites, it can actually kill this whole army. I think Guard actually Earthshake. Yeah, Earthshakes. Did he? Okay. No, that's not the Earthshake. I'm not sure what. Oh, maybe right here. There's a big circle here. Another Solar Pulse. The Avatar down and my commander's down. Basically, my whole army's dead. Guard can actually win the day here. They can make a comeback. But you can see Necrons is doing a lot of work. They're just attacking everyone and everyone. I think Necrons has the slag, so that's why they can spam units. Normally they can't spam units, but yeah. Once this building goes down, I think Sisters is dead. So not looking too good there. Another Soultorm. I think that's the 3rd one. The Soultorm does about 200 damage, I think. Not a lot, but it's enough to scare people. There you go, Malediction. I think I have, how many bodyguards do I have? I think I have 2. So Malediction is not that strong. It's not like a full Malediction. 2nd Avatar Arcane, or maybe the 3rd one. I'm not sure. Another tier 4 another tier 4 army. The first tier 4 army died. Looks like Tao's out of the game and Sisters is out of the game. I think they could have won. I think they had all the tools to win, but I do think they played that poorly. I think for a long time the bottom team actually had a much better army. Yeah.
Which is totally different than the original game.
Right.
And then I got the Val, you know how you do that spell, the Val thing? Well, now it's on a sword.
Oh.
It's an ash now, not a spell. Can you believe that? What the hell's going on?
Have fun.
Yeah, that's crazy. It might actually work. It's all the It's got some weird. I got this giant sword.
I'm still recording.
Kill it. Get out here and play this game. Great, man.
Sorry, that was my dad. He got excited over Dark Souls. He loves Dark Souls. Me, it makes me tired. So I usually don't play that one. He loves controller games. Anyways, I used detection here to find the stealth suits. There was like 8 stealth suits here, so I used my detection. And I used my mandrakes to cap. I capped these points here, the sister battle points, and it took me a while to realize how bad my economy was. So you can see here my economy is 54 to 41, which is not enough for a tier 4 fight. This isn't even enough for like a tier 2 fight. So I think somewhere around now I realize, wow, my economy is just really bad. But I do have 500 souls, so I can use Soultorm again, or whatever I need. But you can see here, Guard is getting triple teamed, and for a while there, it looks like Guard was winning. Guard was actually doing extremely well. But yeah, I didn't see any Ogrins, I didn't see any heavy weapon teams. But he did have the assassin. I don't know where the assassin went. I don't know if it got upgraded or not. But you can see the Raven does pretty good damage to buildings. Not like the highest damage, but it does pretty good damage to buildings. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I really do think the bottom team was just stronger, but they didn't push at the right time. They were just too scared of the Dark Reapers, I guess. Dark Reapers are very scary. What makes them even scarier is the what is it? The deep cannon? No, the Bright Lance cannon. There we go. The Bright Lance cannon makes them even scarier. So Dark Reapers are pretty good, but if you combine them with the Bright Lance, they become basically unstoppable. Yeah, Eldar had to make the Avatar Arcane twice, and the Fire Prisms like 5 times in order to win. And it took even the Deceiver God. So it took, it took a lot to win. And then I had to use Malediction to stop him from using his Psyker. So pretty tough battle, I would say. But yeah, we basically used debuffs in order to win. I think without the debuffs, it would have been a tough battle for sure. But yeah, Sister's mistake was definitely fighting the Avatar. They don't really have any. They don't really have a high. They don't have a high damage unit. Sisters don't really have damage at all, really. So I think fighting the Avatar was a big mistake. Sisters should have killed either the Monolith, which I think they could have done it. They could have easily killed the Immortals. They could have easily destroyed these turrets. They're very good at destroying turrets. They could have destroyed all this. They could have destroyed everything here and made Necrons like tier 3 again, which would have been pretty strong. Sisters could have easily killed my army. I think Sisters could have just walked right over me, basically. So yeah, there's a million ways I think they could have won this. And making Pentium engines when everyone has anti-vehicle, I don't know if that's the best choice. I get why they made Pentium engines, but I don't know if it was the right call. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. So I basically went full Archon. That was my plan. But you can see this is like my 5th Archon.
When do we fight?
My Archon died a lot. So, but I think I did pretty well in this one. I think I showed off my skills. Usually when I play this game, I lose in 5 minutes. I can't really show off my skills because I lose so quickly. But in this one, I actually survived for a while and was able to fight. So that was pretty cool. Now I did unlock Malediction around the 10-minute mark, and I didn't use it until now. I just completely forgot about it. So I'm not like the best player or anything like that. And I think I used my Ravens badly. Really, they just didn't do anything. No, the Baneblade destroys them in like 2 hits. So the Ravens just, and the Lehman Russ kills them too. The Lehman Russ kills the Ravens. So basically everything in the game kills the Ravens. So it's just not that strong of a unit. It's just really not that strong of a vehicle. It's a tier 3 unit, but it's honestly not that strong. Really, its special power that turn off anything is what makes it strong. But there's so many, like, you know, the Baneblade kills it, the Melta kills it. Basically everything they had would killed it. The stealth suits. So yeah, the Ravens were just not cutting it. I honestly could have went tier 4. I just did not have a spot for it. The Soul Cage is this massive building, and I just don't have a spot for it anywhere. Like, where would I put the Soul Cage at? I have no idea. I have no idea where I would put Soul Cage at. So that was my issue. Also, I don't even know if my tier 4 unit would do anything. It basically loses to I mean, it would have lost to the Living Saint. It would have lost to basically everything in the game. So I'm not even sure if going tier 4 would have done anything for me. But yeah, that's enough for that one. What was I making? Oh yeah, I basically just commander spammed, and my opponent wasn't able to make commanders because I just, you know, the poison, I can kill commanders no problem. So I was commander spamming and my opponent wasn't able to make commanders. My only real successful fight was when I used my soul abilities, and that was pretty much it. Anytime I attacked, it was a fail. I think every single time I attacked, I just lost everything. So not the best showcase for me. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. You can see there, Necron's got the highest score and the highest economy. Pretty crazy difference in economy. And you can see there, Guard had 10,000 more resources than me, which is a pretty crazy difference. He basically had double my resources, which is pretty insane. So Guard could have went tier 4 like 3 times with that kind of money. Really all he needed was more buildings, and he could have mass produced units. But yeah, I don't know what Guard could have done. I think the Basilisk was the right choice, but the Basilisk got taken out by the Fire Prism. So like, I don't know what the answer is there. You could spam vehicles, but the Lord Destroyers can steal them. So I really don't know what the right choice would have been. That's a tricky one. Maybe Chimera and Priests destroy some buildings. You had to do some building damage to win, which is something Sisters specialize in. I think Sisters are probably the best building destroyers in the game. But yeah, I'm not sure what they could have done to win. They really should have pushed around the 9-minute mark. They had a much stronger army. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they could have done. I think Tau going tier 3 with no army and no economy. I thought that was pretty silly. I don't know why he would go tier 3 with actually nothing. He made one squad of fire warriors, and I don't know if he ever made a full squad. And then the pathfinders and the no Tau commander traps. I didn't see any. But yeah, his army was like 3 units, which isn't enough to it's not very strong. But yeah, I think the destroyers did a lot. Destroyers were like one-shotting Tau. They were like one-shotting basically everything. Caskins, all that. So I think destroyers really came in clutch. And the solar pulses help out a lot. You can see the solar pulse just completely shut down a push. So they weren't able to push as long as the solar pulse was out. Pretty tough game, I would say. So you can see there, Guard had the most kills. Eldar just could not get through. So I think he killed all of Eldar. He basically killed all of Necrons, except for the Monolith. But I think he killed everything except for the Monolith. So yeah, Guard did kill a lot. It looks like the bottom team did have twice the amount of kills. But you really have to do building damage to win. You can get like 500 kills and still lose. You really gotta do some kind of building damage. So you can see here my score was pretty low, I would say. But yeah. Alright, I think that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you liked it. Some tier 4 action. Basically every time I moved around, my guys got completely just blown up. So I'm hoping that was pretty funny. I'm pretty sure someone out there thought that was funny. But yeah, every time I did anything, my guys just got blown to shreds. But yeah. And also Eldar. Eldar also got blown to shreds. So if you want to see Eldar get just totally blown up. But yeah, that's it for this one. I don't really have much more to say on this. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.